In Palworld, you can breed pals together in order to produce offspring. You'll need one male and one female pal, a pal breeding farm, and cake to encourage them to breed. In this guide, we will discuss how to breed pals in Palworld and what combos you can breed to get some extremely cool and powerful pals. First, how do you breed pals? The pal breeding farm becomes available at level 19. In order to build it, you'll need 100 wood, 200 stone, and 50 fiber. The breeding farm requires quite a lot of space to build, so you may need to clear out your base to make room. We would suggest that you dedicate an entire base to breeding alone, as the breeding farm is quite large on its own. You will unlock a second base at base level 10, so it won't be too much of a task to get a second base going to breed some nifty pals. The next step is obtaining cake to facilitate the breeding. The cake can be made at a cooking pot or electric stove, but not a campfire, and requires the following ingredients: 5 flour, which is made from wheat at a mill and will require pals with watering abilities; 8 red berries, which are dropped from low-level pals, harvested from bushes, grown in the base, or dropped by Capridy when it's assigned to the ranch, killed, captured, or butchered. You will also need 7 milk, which is dropped by Mozzarina when assigned to the ranch, defeated in the wild, captured, or butchered. Next is 8 eggs. Eggs are dropped from Chickapee when assigned to the ranch, captured, defeated, or butchered. And lastly, you will need 2 honey. Honey is dropped from Bee Guard when assigned to the ranch, captured, defeated, or butchered. Cake takes quite a bit of time to cook up on a cooking pot, so you may need a higher level kindling pal or points in your own player's work speed to make this process a little bit faster. Once the cake has been made, place it in the breeding farm chest found at the entrance of the breeding pen. Then ensure the 2 pals you wish to breed are both working at your base. Pick them up, place them inside the breeding farm, and be sure to have opposite gendered pals in the pen or they will not begin the breeding process. If everything is proceeding well, you'll see a breeding indicator in the middle of the farm and a progress bar surrounding a mystery egg shape. If the breeding is successful, you'll receive a new pal egg to pick up and put into an incubator. Sometimes the egg can spawn hidden or partially obscured by the nearby environment, so you may need to search around a little bit. Now, what kind of combos can you breed? Well, there are a plethora of pals to breed in order to get some pretty cool ones, including Grizzbolt, the boss from Rain Syndicate Tower you may remember, as well as other rare pals that can be bred in the pen as well, such as a Relaxorus Lux, Dinossum Lux, Lylene Noct, Phalaris, Ozark, and Shadowbeak, just to name a few. Whether you're picking up eggs in the wild or breeding pals yourself, you will need the egg incubator in order to hatch the eggs. The egg incubator is one of the earliest pieces of ancient technology that you can unlock in Palworld at player level 7 in the single column to the far right. It costs 2 ancient technology points to unlock this recipe. To obtain those, you have to defeat bosses, and there are 5 tower bosses that function sort of like Pokemon gym leaders, as well as alpha pals that appear on the world map as a circular icon. Once you have unlocked the recipe, you'll need to spend the following resources to craft a single egg incubator: 10 paldium fragments, 5 cloth, 30 stone, and 2 ancient civilization parts. Paldium fragments and stone can be mined even in the starting area, and cloth can be refined from wool using a crafting bench. You can sometimes find ancient civilization parts in rare tier chests, but the most straightforward way is to beat or capture alpha pals, dungeon bosses, or lucky pals. Once you've rounded up all the materials, just find a place in your camp to build it. Be sure to build it with plenty of space around it because the hatching process sometimes requires you to manipulate the environment a little bit. What do we mean by that? Well, scorching eggs like it hot, so build a few campfires or a heater around it until it says seems very comfortable. You're looking for it to say incubation speed plus 100%, so toy around with the nearby environment if you want to expedite the process. The same goes for frozen eggs, as they like it cold. You can build a cooler nearby the egg incubator in order to speed up the hatching process. You will need an ice pal to keep the cooler running and a kindling pal to make the heater functional. Alternatively, you could also just set up a base in a biome with a different temperature. For example, a base in the desert region to the east will incubate scorching eggs perfectly without any assistance. Similarly, a base in the frozen astral mountains will incubate frozen eggs perfectly. So what types of eggs are there? The various pal egg types correspond to the 9 elements associated with different pals. In every case, The designs and descriptions associated with each egg are pretty self-explanatory. Damp eggs yield water pals, scorching eggs yield fire, etc. They also come in different sizes that correspond with rarity, namely regular, large, and huge. That's going to do it for this Palworld breeding guide. For more on breeding combos and all things Palworld, head on over to our growing wiki pages. And as always, for all things gaming, stick with IGN.